What are introjects? Introjects, in a very simplistic way, are voices. Now, the voices that tell us what to do in our minds, the voices that rise up in us when something is wrong, you could call it our conscience, our intuition, our gut speak, the voices that we were raised up with. Our culture is a voice. Our collective trauma, which is what culture is, an inherited collective trauma, is a voice telling you, oh, you shouldn't get divorced because people will look at you like there's something wrong with you, like you're damaged goods, like no one will love you. It's all bollocks, but you get the picture. Culture will tell you that if you have too many girls, you are no good, you need to have a son. Culture will tell you that boys are better than girls. These are all trauma-related, hereditary trauma-related customs and cultures. That's what it is. It's trauma. It's passed down to us from our forefathers, and we just keep living it out unless we break the cycle. These are the voices that rise up in us as a conscience, as a big brother, as a voice over our shoulder telling us this is right and this is wrong, as a moral code, as a conscience. From whatever we've learned of Islam or whatever religion you follow, it becomes a voice in you, dictating your moral compass, your behavioral compass, what you should accept and what you shouldn't, what you should do and what you shouldn't. Introjects are the voice. Now, pertaining to narcissistic abuse, the introject is the voice of your narcissist. As you understand and know, he is a virus, a human robot in human flesh. He has flesh and blood and bones, but yet he is internally void of human emotion, empathy, and feeling. Therefore, he might as well be microchipped robot in human flesh and blood. What this narc-bot seeks to do is to hijack your internal processing system, is to hijack your voice of reason, your conscience, is to hijack your gut speak, when your gut speaks to you, your voice of intuition, is to hijack your culture, your tradition, every single thing that makes you you, until there is nothing left of you except a shell of a human being with the character, voices, and identity, or lack thereof, of the narcissist. You must understand that the narcissist does not have an identity, character, personality of his own. He merely mirrors back and projects whatever you show him so that he can appear to be the ideal match and soulmate to you, when it's just a very, very carefully curated reflection and projection. Now, when it comes to introjects, he will plant his voice in your psyche so that you now think and hear his voice as your guiding navigation tool, your GPS. It's not going to be with his voice. You will know this because you will act out of character. You will say, do, and behave in ways that are not the person that you were before the narcissist came into your life. You will doubt yourself whenever your inner voice tries to come up and say something. You will stuff it down, and you will rather take the root and the voice of the narcissist as your guiding voice. The inner voice of the narcissist is never realistic. It is based on a fantasy world, on a fantasy view of an illusion and a delusion that he has of whatever he has idealized or whatever he has come to devalue and discard. It's never truly as it is. He does not see you for you, what you are and who you are. He sees you as an NPC, a non-player character, just an object from his fantasy world projected back to him, but something that he can use as a tool and as an object. Our introject is like the interface that connects with our construct, our frame through which we view the world. Right? So our belief systems, so we get faced with reality, and how we perceive that reality is based on our constructs, the belief systems that we have, and our introjects, our voices that come up in us, which tell us whether this is in conformance with what we believe or whether it's not. So it tells us how to experience the world and how we will react to the world based on those experiences. So often we find people trying to change behavior. What you actually need to do is go to the construct, because that's the belief, or where the belief was formed, and that will change the introject, which is the voices that reinform or support the construct. So If it sounds a bit woo-woo, wishy-washy, over the top, please go watch it a few times over and over, and hopefully you'll get it. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section below and I can address them. The narcissist interjects to reinforce his belief that he is a failure. If he is a covert narcissist, deep at his core, he believes that he is unlovable, he is a failure, he is a loser, and therefore his reality must reflect that. If his reality does not reflect that and it makes him feel like he's a winner, he will do everything to sabotage that relationship and run it to the ground to ensure it fails, so that it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. That he believes he's a failure, therefore everything he does must conform to that idea, conform to that belief, conform to that construct, and his inner voice, his introjects. His introjects must feed back that he is a failure, and his reality will have to support that. Which is why he will break up with you for no reason and discard you like you were nothing, and like he never loved you. Well, he didn't, but he will discard you like you are absolutely nothing, which you are not. You're actually more than he could ever be. But he will treat you in that way because he's got to prove to himself that he is right, that his beliefs are right, that his construct is right, that his introjects, his inner voices are right. Now, as Muslims, we believe in introjects and inner voices. But we also believe that there is this devil whispering to us. And we believe that he makes waswas in our chests. And I will put in the caption below from Surah An-Nas exactly what it is that the devil whispers into us. And we think it's our inner voice, but it's actually the voice of the devil. I want you to think of the voice and introject of the narcissist as waswas. He has waswas that are unparalleled because his demons that possess him tell him what to do, make him feel worthless, put him down, which is exactly what Satan's objective has been since the beginning of time. He has very powerful voices, introjects, or demons in him that tell him what to do and what not to do. So when he enacts that, you must understand he is working by the means of a demon, and it's taken over him completely. He's completely compromised. So what he will seek to do, since you are his closest ally and affiliation, he will seek to demonize you by inserting in you his introjects, his demonic voices, his whispers. His shayateen will be whispering to your shayateen, or his shayateen will be whispering into your chest. This is very important to understand because it's going to help you navigate which voices are coming from him and his demons, and which voices are guidance from Allah, guidance to the true path, guidance from your gut, telling you which is the right thing to do, your conscience. We need that voice to rise up, and we need his voices to die down. And this can only happen like a muscle. As you flex it, it gets stronger. If you keep on putting that, the habitual put down and shutting off of those introjects will enable your conscience and the light voice from Allah, or the guidance from Allah, to be the more predominant introject in you and in your life. If you are with a covert narcissist, you are obviously not all doom and gloom as he is. You are light and love and all beautiful things, and you want to bring, joy and happiness and a productive way of living. But all of this points to success. He is not driven by or geared for success. And this occurred to me in an instance when we were in the car driving together, and I said to him, instead of running me down or saying horrible things or being demotivating or disappointing or disappointed and keep complaining about people and food and this and that, complaining about me, complaining about my traits, complaining about everything, why don't you say something beneficial, something motivational, something to make me feel uplifted, something to build this relationship? He said something very apt that I'll never forget. He said, I'm not trying to build anything with anyone. I'm trying to be crushed. And at that moment I was like, what? Who in a relationship is trying not to build that relationship but trying to destroy it? And that was one of the moments that I realized, oh my God, this is going nowhere but down. It's over. I mean, you can't say that to someone and you ever think that there's a chance or hope of that relationship ever lasting. So he said that he doesn't want to build, he wants to be crushed. And that immediately told me, and was reinforced by when Sam Vaknin said this. He said, your external voice threatens the narcissist's reality, because narcissists are threatened by success. And they will do everything to prove themselves that they are not successful and don't deserve success. Because failure in the narcissist is the comfort zone. Oh my God, subhanAllah. Failure in the narcissist, the covert narcissist, is his comfort zone. Overt or grandiose narcissists, of course, they have different aspects of this that come out at different times, because they can also be covert. But for the general sense, they love success and they are all for it. But they will do anything, harm anyone, trample over anyone to get it. And that's what makes them more obvious. So once you understand that the covert narcissist introjects are doom and gloom and geared towards failure by any means possible, nothing will ever work out in that man's life. He cannot hold on a proper job. He's always failing at everything. People don't like him. Relationships fail. People kick him out. He's destructive. He destroys everything good in his life. There's nothing good that can come of it, because his framework from which he operates from is geared or under the lens of failure. He cannot see himself as anything else other than failure. And to challenge that narrative, that introject, and say that you can be better, you can be successful, look, you have me, this is going to cause annihilation to his self, because you will then have to tell him that he was wrong, that he was erroneous, that he is in error. And a narcissist can never say that about themselves, because they are God, they're always right. So you cannot say that he was in error, he made a mistake, and that he can actually achieve something, he can have success. He will never accept this for himself. So who and why would you ever want to be with a loser, a person doomed to failure, a person who has no good in them, or very little good, and the good that they do have is only there for manipulation and coercion? This is very important that you understand that there's absolutely nowhere but down with this man, because he has accepted his default setting to be set on F for failure. Okay, so the best way is to supplant his introjects with our own introjects, the voice of goodness, morality, righteous doing, encouragement, love, support, that of a paternal or maternal figure, your inner voice, and that of healing, and a healthy and supportive friend. That is how you know that is your conscience coming up and rising in you, letting you let go of bad habits and toxic relationships and toxic behavior in yourself. And that is how you can start the process of healing and becoming an individual and individuate from this narcissist to become the best version of yourself that you could ever be. Do check out my videos on individuation for more help. Love and light. Assalamu alaikum and goodbye.